Okay, I'm sorry. I kept you waiting. I'm sorry. Oh, it's the same. But board member. I'm getting ready to turn on my section. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna see that about it. Yeah. Go ahead and get started.
That was cool, huh? Good morning, everyone.
I bet yours, you should just come to work.
Modelo?
Me, well.
Does anyone need a pen?
And then second one, Laura. And I don't think,
Anyone else?
I don't think there was anyone next to him.
Pen? Yeah. She doesn't even all the way there.
Oh.
And you're good? Well, yes, okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. We have our incoming president. Yes, and so, I think you would like for us to start with the pledge.
Yes, ma'am. Start with the pledge, please.
All right.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Representative Betta, today is October 27th, 2023, the Rio Grande Council of Governments Board of Directors meeting. And we have the meeting starting at 10:10.
Roll call.
Yes, we can do roll call if you'd like. I'll start first, and we'll go to the right, and next we get is the date of here for the Rio Grande Council of Government. Tracy Meadows, Finance Director.
Summer Webb, City of Valentine. Joanna McKenzie, Hudson County.
Christina Mena, El Paso Water.
David Cantu, City of San Elizario.
Rafael Padilla, Channel Rising City Proxy for Sheriff Wiles.
Josh Garcia, the Sur Pueblo Emergency Management Proxy for Governor Silvas.
Steve Nani, El Paso ISD Board of Trustees.
I'm Avalos, City Support.
Jose Portillo, Presidio County.
Leonard Wells, for this year, on behalf of Colonel Gallagher, the Garrison Community.
Alexandra Anello, City Representative.
Carlos Shield, County Commissioner, Precinct 1.
Iana Dean, County Commissioner, Precinct 3.
We have a guest with us today, Mayor.
Andy Renteria, Mayor of Horizon City.
And then Marisa.
Oh, Marisa Quintanilla, Rio Cog staff. Yvette Lugo, Rio Cog staff.
Someone else, sorry. Stella Rodriguez, real staff.
Dinah Valdez, counsel for the Rio Grande Council of Governments.
The new Stella.
I was trying to take that Stop.
Look at you.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
we do have a quorum, sir. So,
Start off with the order.
yes, sir.
Do I have a motion? Does anybody have any questions on the approval of minutes of the previous meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Oh, yes, and I apologize. We do have County Judge Carlos Urias on the Teams meeting. Judge, if you can, put on your, if you could turn your camera on, that'd be great. And I apologize, we're supposed to get some feedback here, so we'll see if we can get that corrected. Thank you, sir.
How about Judge Evans?
Oh, Judge Evans, I don't see you. You don't have your
I'm
camera.
on. My camera's on.
Okay, it's a little hard. All right, thank you, sir, appreciate it. Okay, for Representative Betta, for public comments, we do not have anyone who signed up, but if anybody would want to say anything now, this would be the time for public comments.
I have a
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just in case any of you do not know, tomorrow, this Saturday, we will have our first annual gun buyback program. It is scheduled from 8 to 12. For all you ladies out there, bring your husband's guns. He's really appreciated. For you husbands out there, if your wife owns guns, for sure bring them.
What are we trading in, the wives or the gun?
You would ask.
I just want to be clear.
No questions.
No questions.
I
Tell that you asked that.
No.
Well, the city starts at Dia de los Muertos tomorrow, right?
Mhm.
The celebration. So hopefully everybody can attend with your families. Appreciate that.
And I would like to mention also that tomorrow is National First Responders Day. Recognize our firefighters and law enforcement personnel. So,
Can I give a quick update too?
Yes, ma'am.
So I just want to congratulate the city of Socorro. They received a $16 million grant from TechStop for their trail project. That's gonna be in the Mission Valley.
Goodness.
We have El Paso received 10 million for our trail project. So slowly but surely, the trail in the Mission Valley is almost complete. We've got a few little sections that we still need to fund, but these two, the 26 million in total, is going to go a long way to make sure we have the trail throughout the Mission Valley.
So if you want to connect, because we're struggling.
Yeah. Well, we're getting ready, the county is getting ready to submit a separate, an EDA grant to connect Socorro to San Eli.
Good.
So little by little, little by little.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Anyone else?
Okay, so we'll move into our first agenda item under the Finance Division. And this one is the fiscal year 2024 approval investment policy, and this will be presented by Judy Cisneros, our Finance Director.
Good morning, everyone. So Board of Directors approval is being requested, and this is to adopt the fiscal year 24 investment policy. And in order for us to be in compliance with the Investment Act, it has to be presented every year. The policy itself did not change. There was no additions or deletions, so it's just, again, just being presented to you guys for fiscal year 24. Motion to approve.
Second.
Yeah, with my Mayor Webb. Seconded by Commissioner Webb. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, agenda item 2, also presented by Judy Cisneros. This is the fiscal year 2024 investment policy.
So the same as the investment policy, this also needs to be presented on a yearly basis. So the investment officers would be, will continue to be Nicholas as the executive director and myself, the finance director. We did remove Evelyn Anguiano. She's no longer working for the club, so it'll just be us two for fiscal year 20.
And this is a discussed act on item.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Dean, seconded by.
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Right, agenda item 3 is also presented by Judy Cisneros. So this is to update the signatory cards for the bank accounts held at Wells Fargo.
Yes, so Board of Directors approval is also being requested on this agenda item. And what this will do is it will update the fiscal year 24 officers. And it would also remove Mayor Webb from the list, again, for fiscal year 24.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Leah.
Okay. Motion by Mary Webb and a second by,
Trustee Kennedy.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? Oh, okay. That was in favor.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Motion carries.
Okay, agenda item 4, this is the public investments quarterly report for accounts held at Wells Fargo, and this will be for fiscal year 2023, also presented by Judy Cisneros.
Okay, this is my last agenda item. So for the public funds investment quarterly report, I will be reporting to you the fourth quarter of our fiscal year 23, which is July, August, and September. Okay, on this item, the account for the operating account, which is our first account, that is pretty much where we, all of the checks are issued out of this account. So that's our main account. For our book at a market value at September 30th, it had a market value of $772,170, and it earned interest of $4,519. The next account that I need to present on is the 911 account, and that's our CSEC account. This one had a market value at September 30th of $297,958. And this account earned interest of $308 for the quarter. And the last account is our TCEQ, which is our solid waste account. This one had a book and a market value at $43,050, and it earned $206 for the quarter. A lot of the CSEC and the TCEQ by the month of October, which is now, are pretty much going down because we're paying off everything up to fiscal year 23. So a lot of the money that you see in the 911 account and the TCEQ is already owed to a vendor. So again, information item only, but if you have any questions on the account.
We'll go ahead and we'll move on to administration. I have the next 4 items to present to you all. The first one is going to be the fiscal year 2024 Finance Committee. To make it a bit more palatable or interesting for those who may want to join the Finance Committee, we are reducing our amendments. So we only have 1 amendment that we're going to be presenting to you all. So therefore, there is a reduction of 1 meeting. We would ask for those who would want to participate in the Finance Committee to serve to be present for our audit in 2023 that is anticipated to be in February of 2024. We also have our budget amendment 1 that we would present in July of 2024. And then our last one will be the proposed budget for 25. And as you can see, for fiscal year 23, we did have Mayor Webb, Representative DeVetta, as well as Dr. Mena, who served on the committee for 2023. So at this point, I would ask you, the chair, if we could
Yes.
Have some volunteers to serve on this committee. This is where we get.
Already handed
But I do
once.
think that Representative DeVetta, as the president, would probably want to still serve on the Finance Committee. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Was that an enticement or discouragement?
I don't know, sir. You can it's a half glass, full empty sort of.
Yes,
thing.
it is. Full glass.
Anyone else?
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Lewin.
No, you know,
He's been serving on, he's served on it for.
He has
about
lots
you.
of time. He's a commissioner. He has please.
Oh.
no, I've got some traveling, some health traveling, so it's going to be spotty for.
I'll serve. Okay, thank you. All right, anyone else?
I'll serve.
Okay, thank you, Judge. All right, see, this is okay. So we've got 3 members. And I think, yes, if we can do this is a discussion and act upon, Adam. If we can have somebody. Okay, second. Okay.
For the vote.
That one was done very quickly to not change having a discussion. I know what happened here.
Good.
I see.
Motion to, is there a motion to approve? Oh, well, there was. Call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody in opposition? No.
That
Motion
also.
passes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Next time we'll have some incentives also. So for those of you who chose not to, you will not receive the incentive. So, okay, so the next item is the cooperative purchasing program. Every fiscal year, we do ask for permission to participate in these cooperative purchasing programs. They're obviously very helpful along the way throughout the fiscal year because it helps us be more efficient with our time and management because we're able to procure items that are directly off of these programs. And so you'll see the 6 here that are listed, and there aren't any changes. Actually, we did omit DRR last year accidentally, so that's the only change that's on there compared to last year. So there's 6 cooperative purchasing programs that we'd like to participate.
Which one? I'm sorry. Which one?
DIR, the
The
last one,
last one.
Justice Department. Okay, so Joanne.
Motion approved.
What's that?
Do I have a second? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, so the next agenda item is the conflict of interest letters. And so just as a reminder, this is a part of our audit process. And so we did issue letters out to you all. Even if some of you are serving as proxies, we would ask for you to fill out that form as well. So if, I don't know if Stella's already given out.
The ones.
Okay, so if you feel comfortable signing right now today, you can turn that back into Stella. If not, if you can email it or mail it back to her, that'd be great. Are there any questions for me in regard to this item? Okay, so Commissioner Olguin, you need a conflict of interest letter. We'll get you one. Okay. Okay.
And it's not we were given in September's board meeting and then in the annual meeting. So this is our 3rd attempt.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So then they may already.
Yes.
Yes, I have one.
If you'd like one printed today to be signed, we can do that as well.
Stella Sacheri.
Yes, I have.
Okay. And there isn't any other information on that one. Okay, we'll go on to the next agenda item, which is this is the, we're asking for board approval to allow us to enter into an agreement with the PACE Authority, which is a 501c3, they're a nonprofit. And the purpose of this agreement is for them to assist us in providing services for the State Energy Conservation Office grant that we received in September. And the whole premise of this grant is to promote various mechanisms that are available to renovate existing buildings, make them more energy efficient, create greater cost savings. And so this is allowed through counties who approve the PACE program. At this moment right now, we have El Paso County and Jeff Davis County. Those are the 2 counties in our region that have the PACE program. So with this grant, we're hoping that we can push this along and inform you all in terms of the benefits of being in the program. And that could be something that you all can do through commissioner support. That's the county to approve. So the amount is for $119,000. And this would be for 1 year, but there is the possibility of renewing this agreement if we get more funds from CECO for the sake.
Any questions to approve?
Move to approve.
For Padilla, thank you. Alderman Padilla. Second.
Just a quick, your fiscal year ends in August.
Ours ends in September, but this one does end in August.
Is there any conflict?
No, we would just, it would still be 12 months. We just accelerated, so we'll be done in August, but it'll be reflected in our fiscal year 24, which goes to September. So there just won't be any activity in September.
Any other question? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, so I know that some of you need to be heading out to an opening soon, so we'll be quick, but these are all regional services items, and then we'll finish off with area agency on aging. So number 9 is the fiscal year 2024 Solid Waste Advisory Committee. And this is the regional municipal solid waste application list and recommendation allocations. And it's going to be presented by Marisa Quintanilla, our regional services director.
Good morning, Board of Directors. We do have Ellen Smythe and Nick Ibarra from who oversee our solid waste committee with us virtually. And we met back last week to go ahead and review the the applications for solid waste activities for FY 24. Behind your agenda item, you have the list of the applicants, their project title. And so total solid waste implementation project dollars that we have for fiscal year 24 is 93,500. And we have a total of about 10 applicants, and of those 10, City of El Paso always bows out because they want to go ahead and allow for the rural and smaller municipalities, organizations to go ahead and apply and implementation projects, cleanup projects. So the committee went ahead and recommended amount of full ask for each of the applicants. We had additional dollars. We received additional dollars for this next biennium under solid waste. And then we also had some staff turnover that allow us to go ahead and put more money into those implementation projects. Because this is a first in a long time where each of the applicants are being recommended at their full ask. Normally there is a reduction in the amount, but this is the first time in a long time that they were able to go ahead and allocate recommend for full funding as requested. Alan, Nick, I'm not sure if you want to add to anything in regards to the review process.
No, Ellen Smythe with the City of El Paso. I think you covered it really well. We were really fortunate this year to have our allocation larger than the amount of money that was being requested from all the other participants. And so I think they're all going to be really happy to be receiving 100% of their application. And as she mentioned, the City of El Paso, we never submit a specific dollar amount. We run a scrap tire disposal from our 5 drop-off sites across the city. And so our tire bill is, I don't even know, 30,000, 50,000 a year. So this amount of money. Okay, 35. So this 5,000 would just go towards that. So, but we don't want to give it back. We don't want to give money back. So we'd rather use it on the scrap tires.
And just to add to that, Ellen, any dollars that are not used by the jurisdictions then are reverted into the City of El Paso to help with their tire disposal cost.
Right.
Does it matter just, I don't care, but for the application itself, this is not the name on the application that we turned in. Does that matter?
It cut off. I apologize.
Okay.
You have the applicants on the left-hand side, but when we printed it out, I didn't realize that we cut off the actual applicants. Yes. I can print that out too. We need to just see that.
That matters.
If you would keep in mind, myself and Judge Evans and Judge Pennington are working on a tri-county. We want to visit with you guys about having a tire shredding capability within the tri-counties and rotate use of that equipment. So we'll be bringing that back.
Right. When we did the application workshop out in the region, we met with everybody, with Brewster County Alpine staff, your staff, Judge, as well as Jeff Davis. And that was the discussion. So we are going to have a follow-up meeting in January because the group was not quite ready for this fiscal year, but then to do the planning phases for FY 25.
Thank you so much.
I'm so sorry.
No, you have,
I asked.
it's not. Any other questions?
Approve.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Nick.
We do have a first and a second. Representative.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries.
Board of Directors, our next item is an informational item, and this is in regards to the Community Emergency Response Team. I will lean on Josh Garcia as well to present this training opportunity that the tribes will be hosting. And this is a really good opportunity for those folks that really want to become instructors and be more involved in community preparedness. This is the first prerequisite course to be able to do that. So can we move to the next slide where we do have the There you go. So, Josh, do you want to go ahead and add a little bit to this training opportunity?
Yeah, you bet. So, the COG was gracious enough to, be a fiscal agent for a project that we're focusing on the responder community in, this region, in the COG region, to build capacity and capability to train citizens in this program, Community Emergency Response Team Training. And so as part of that project, we're moving toward readying first responders and any other personnel that are interested in becoming trainers to train citizens in these programs throughout our COG region. So the first step is to, of course, identify those individuals and then work with them along with the COG to hopefully establish CERT programs in the different counties. And there's a need region-wide here in El Paso, certainly, but more especially in the eastern part of our region with the rural counties. And so we're very interested in working with the emergency managers and first responders, fire chiefs, police chiefs, to try and see if we can establish those programs. But the first step is to identify those individuals that would become trainers and then just kind of work toward that organization. So that first step is what the first requirement in being able to take the CERT Train the Trainer course is to take the basic training, right? For you to understand what the program's all about. And the tribe is hosting, it is on a weekend because we're targeting citizens, and typically Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, they're working. So we need to make it available during a time when they're when they can attend the training. And so we're getting a good response up to this point. We already have about 9 or 10 folks signed up for the basic training. And most of these folks are first responder folks that really have an intent to become trainers. There are some citizens from the Pueblo, and there can be citizens from, you know, our neighboring towns, San Elizario, Horizon City, City of El Paso. It's registered, the course is registered on the preparingtexas.org website. And so it's really technically open to anybody in Texas who'd want to take it, but very practically for those here in this area. So we're just really trying to push this. It's a good project, and the outcomes of this project, at the end of this project, what we want to see is hopefully that we can train some people in each of our participating counties in the COG region, and then also cities and towns in our counties as well, and with the hope that we can also establish CERT teams in those areas too. So really need your help in promoting this with your EMCs and emergency management coordinators and first responders, the chiefs, and anyone who can have responsibility in seeing maybe a CERT program established in your community. In the end, what CERTs can do is they can fend for themselves during a disaster, when we know typically first responders are overwhelmed from the get-go, right? So with skills and knowledge that we can give through this program, people can kind of help themselves, their families, and their neighborhoods. And so it's a win-win for all of us to try and prepare our communities this way. So it's a way to prepare it, and that is the title of the project. Actually, is the West Texas Preparedness. I don't know, it's got a long title, but the focus is on region and on Region 4. And then by the end of that project too, we do plan on having 2 CERT Train the Trainers courses, and then have a CERT Master Instructor course that just enables CERT Master Instructors can put together Train the Trainer courses without needing the help of the state to bring in an instructor. We pretty much become self-sufficient to build that capability and capacity here in this region. So I think it's a real positive project, and hopefully you all can help us with that. If there's any information that you need, there's the flyer. You can contact Martin, you can contact me, you can contact the COG. We'll get you the information that you need, the links to the trainings, and hopefully we can see some success here.
And
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mean, sure. Do you have to be 18 or is there an age requirement?
Yeah, well, for the CERT basic training, we do ask that the folks that sign up for the training be an adult, 18. But if somebody younger comes with their parent or somebody responsible, we'll allow them to come in. This is the CERT basic training. For the CERT the trainer, you need a little more, you need folks that really are connected with an agency, preferably a first responder agency, that are gonna see, that are gonna get involved in teaching CERT. Otherwise, we train trainers, and then if they don't participate, well, then it's kind of a waste of time for them and us. But yeah, for the basic training, if you have an adult with you and you're underage, we'll take you in.
And I was asking that for the, possibly the CTE program with EPIC with the emergency medic training classes that they have. Maybe this might be something that they would be interested in.
I did want to also acknowledge the TARC, the Texas Association of Regional Councils. Our CERT manager put in a request to get CERT bags, which is what you get when you do the training. And we got 30 bags. So we do have a mixture of tribal and non-tribal folks taking this training. For the tribal folks, we have our own like bags with logo, tribal logo and all that. So we'll do that. But anybody that's from the outside, we're going to be able to have bags to supply to them as well. And it comes with part of the training. So we're very grateful to the TARC. And I know the COG kind of facilitates that, so we appreciate all the involvement of our key stakeholders in seeing this project through, and we're very excited about it.
And I'll reach out to EPIC and see if there's any interest in, maybe the instructor may want to.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, obviously I'm not from other districts, but this would also probably be a great opportunity for some of the neighboring districts, Socorro and Isleta, because those are, schools that are in their neighborhoods as well.
I'll go ahead and forward it to the San Elizario ISD as well.
Okay.
Does that 16-year-old does an adult have to be a relatively young person?
No, not necessarily. Just as long as we have a responsible person. The reason why we're very emphatic about that is just because there's some skills that are taught that are kind of a little high risk. You learn how to put out a small fire. So you're handling a fire extinguisher. Also, there's some cribbing and some other techniques that are used by first responders during disasters where there's a debris. And so it's a little risky. And so we try and avoid the liability. But if there's a responsible adult with that person, and we haven't really had any elementary age kids take the training, more so middle school, and a lot of high school kids. High school kids get real excited, and we actually have that program in our school districts that are being taught by instructors, but they stretch out the training a lot longer. This is a 20-hour training, but in schools, it's done over a semester, which is really actually a lot better because they're able to focus more on skills. But yeah, that's the reason why we put that restriction for underage kids.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
I don't. Oh.
Board of Directors requesting the submittal of the First Responders Preparedness Planning Group bylaws resolution affirming the amendments to the First Responders Preparedness bylaws to the Public Safety Office within the Office of the Governor, Homeland Security Grants Division. Behind your agenda item, and we do this annually every October, where we meet with each of the committees and we review certain documents just to go ahead and make those reflections to the new fiscal year, and then with other items that were experienced during the previous fiscal year, them to be noted either in our policies, procedures, or bylaws. In this case, we did have to go ahead and amend our bylaws for most of all of our committees. And we did experience a couple of things during fiscal year 23 that we had to go back and look at how our bylaws were stated in terms of a death of a member, in terms of a vacancy of a member, or removal of a member due to unprofessional conduct. So we spent considerable time with our general counsel, Ms. Valdez, and I'll go ahead and have Ms. Valdez speak a little bit more to those changes.
As that, as Marisa just mentioned, we had some unanticipated circumstances. Unfortunately, the death of Chief Allen, as well as the removal of office of District Attorney Ivan Rosales. And so we found that our bylaws were not very clear in terms of how to handle circumstances of that nature. And we thought it was a healthy exercise to review bylaws across the board. And I believe Commissioner Holguin also made that suggestion. It's always a good practice to have consistency. And so that is what precipitated those changes. And it started with the CJAC committee. And then of course, with the first responders, we're looking at that as well. And so you will also see coming down the pike, some similar changes to our DRC committee that will probably come next month. Correct. And so that's where that came from. And of course, and as I told the committees, we can't anticipate every circumstance that could have potentially occur, but the goal was to add some discretion so that the committee could make those decisions. And it was also a good time to just kind of clean some of that up. Are there any questions?
I think one of the other things that is important to mention, and you'll see that in the bylaws, is going back with Commissioner O'Keefe. When there is a vacancy in any of our committees, how do we elect or how do we notify the public or that entity that there's a vacancy and if they would like to participate? So we are still incorporating an application form. I did talk to Joelle Bishop from County Administration. Going to meet with Michelle Cochran. She's the one that oversees the volunteer, the committees on behalf of El Paso County, because there's going to be for solid waste some vacancies from representatives of the county, Commissioner's Court, and kind of let her know these are our committees. There's representation from El Paso County, so then she can also be aware of those committees and our bylaws. So behind the agenda item, you do have the red line version. And then after the red line version, you have the clean version of the bylaws.
That's also to include the resolution, right?
Sorry, sir?
That's to include the resolution.
That's correct, sir. We would be also asking for a motion to accept the resolution for amending bylaws.
I have a question just about who was included with the education infrastructure as part of membership.
On the First Responders Preparedness Committee?
Yes.
And let me see, we will be looking at the membership, and let me double check that membership list it is behind agenda 13. You do have the membership for that. So we do have an educational, we do have UTEP as being the educational entity under the first responders.
We have motion and second. Motion to approve.
Aye.
That's pretty weak. That's pretty weak. Motion to approve.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Do I need to sign anything?
So if I may,
Yes.
Chair, I know that both you and Representative Manello, and I think Representative Pietro, you all have an opening to go to, or at least two of you do?
Yes.
Okay, so does that have to happen, that needs to happen now?
You know,
How are you gonna stay back, or what are you gonna do? But you need to go?
I don't like it.
I'll stay with one. I'm not like my colleague that just leave in the drop.
Wow.
Yes, you are.
I'll stay.
You abandoned us.
You were there. Oh, you just get out of here. Oh, well, I'll see for the next item. Yes, making sure.
Number 12, I'm sorry, number 12. And then someone will call it.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Fine, yeah.
Board of Directors requesting the submittal of the revised FY 25 regional statewide state homeland security risk informed methodology and first responders policies and procedures, and resolution affirming the revised policies, risk informed methodology to the Public Safety Office within the Governor, the Office of the Governor Homeland Security Division. So behind the agenda item, you do have the red line version. And these policies and procedures give the guidance to applicants in terms of what the requirements are in order to be an eligible applicant, such as attending a mandatory workshop. One of the things that the first responders group also tackled this year is the implementation of sustainability. And it mirrors the Criminal Justice Advisory Committee's process in terms of sustainability. So I know that we have, Judge McKenzie that sat in the subcommittee meeting. These are changes since the funds are decreasing. There has to be a way to be able to apply sustainability efforts across the board, just to ensure that maybe we can spread those dollars a little bit farther.
Yeah.
Judge McKenzie, I don't know if you wanted to add anything.
I think I would just like to say it was incredibly thoughtful of how to use these funds and apply fairness as much as we could. So I appreciate everybody's time and really genuine interest in making sure everybody has an opportunity that's as fair as possible. So I was very, very thankful and impressed with you.
And I also, Representative Ornello also participated in those subcommittees. I don't know if you wanted to add anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we just, we saw a lot from CJAC and how their process of change, and really thought hard about including the training. Since I won't be here, I will remind city council representatives, the city of El Paso does not always take best advantage of these grants. And so making sure that you're having those training meetings so grants can be reviewed and that we're not getting up there and wasting a lot of time and argument on grants that aren't really acceptable. I think again, we saw it at the CJAC and it was really important to add that in as well.
So behind the agenda item, you do have the red line version and then the clean version. And resolution.
Any questions?
Move to approve. Second.
Motion made. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Board of Directors, the next agenda item is the submittal of the FY25 membership for first responders. Behind your agenda item, you do have the red line version in terms of the membership, and then the clean version and resolution.
So in considering membership, maybe if not now, maybe in the future, the UT Health Houston School of Public Health, we have a campus in El Paso. And we have funding from the governor's office for the Texas Epidemic Public Health Institute that we partner with various entities on public health preparedness, getting ready for the next pandemic, the next crisis, mass shooting, whatever, unfortunately it could be. And we already partner with, Border Rack, UTEP, the health department, UMC. Part of the TEPHI is what TEPHI, that's UT Houston. But in El Paso, we have several leaders of TEPHI who are based in El Paso. So that includes the food insecurity area, the wastewater monitoring. And then we also operate the Alliance for Community Health Worker Trainings regarding a lot of topics. So I would love it if UT Health Houston could somewhere fit here and work with the community. It is state dollars that fund this. It's a service. It's not for research. It's to provide a service to the state of Texas.
Perhaps there could be a consideration for a position for a liaison or ex officio.
Yeah, this we may consider in the future. Thank you.
I'll get with you on that, Nate.
Okay, sure. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So we just need a motion, sir.
Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carries.
Board of Directors, our next agenda item is the revised Criminal Justice Advisory Committee bylaws and resolution affirming the amendments to the Criminal Justice Advisory to be sent to the Public Safety Office within the Office of the Governor Criminal Justice Division. Again, same changes that we did for the first responders also are being applied to the Criminal Justice Advisory bylaws. So behind your agenda item, you have the red version, and then you have the clean version, and then you have your resolution.
Anybody have any questions?
Move to approve. Second.
Motion and second made, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Board of Directors, our next agenda item is the revised fiscal year 25 Criminal Justice Advisory Planning Alliance Policies and Procedures and Resolution affirming the revisions of the policies and procedures to the Public Safety Office within the Office of the Governor Criminal Justice Division. Behind your agenda item, you do have the red line. You do have the clean version of these revised policies and procedures and the resolution.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Board of Directors, next agenda item is the revised FY 25 Criminal Justice Advisory Committee membership and resolution of the makeup of the Criminal Justice Advisory Commission, Criminal Justice Advisory Committee, to be sent to the Public Safety Office within the Office of the Governor Criminal Justice Division. Behind the agenda item, you have the membership and resolution.
To approve.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Question. So I'm noticing on this list that there's not anybody from K through 12, which is really a critical part of juvenile justice and truancy prevention, delinquency prevention. So I guess the question is why, and also is there anything that we can do to assign somebody from one of our school districts?
So with criminal justice, it's a little different in terms of representation. It's based on discipline. And so if you see the membership at the bottom, you'll see what discipline that committee member is assigned or represents. And so at this time, we don't have any vacancies under certain disciplines. And so this is also leads to that vacancy or member nomination application form that that Commissioner Regain had requested. Because should there be a vacancy, then we can then open it up. Say we have a vacancy under juvenile justice, victim services, courts, or law, and then put it out to the committee to see who would like to serve.
Yeah, and I guess even under education, this is another place where we see UTEP being represented, but I'm just wondering what the proportion, of crimes coming from, for example, the university versus the K-12 education system. I'm imagining that K-12 is actually quite a bit higher, so I would just ask us to consider that.
And that's something also that we would need to look at in terms of terms. These committee members have been there for a significant amount of years, and there's not that term limitation. So that might be something else to consider in terms of even that availability.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion? Any other questions, first of all? Other questions? Do we have a motion?
We do have a motion.
I'm sorry, apologize. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Same.
Did you oppose?
Yes.
Okay.
Board of Directors, my last agenda item is to post a request for proposals for oblique and ortho imagery for our 911 emergency communications program. The COG, the Rio COG, is requesting to solicit proposals from individuals, firms, or teams comprised of multiple firms who can provide approximately 2,100 square miles of imagery comprising of the following 5 counties: Hudspeth, Jeff Davis, Presidio, Brewster County, and the 6 municipalities within those counties. We have received a grant from the State Commission on Emergency Communications to perform this function. Behind your agenda item, you do have the RFP.
So what is the, I know you told us before, what is the benefit of having this done?
Right, it's for addressing, for 911 addressing for the GIS.
Motion to approve.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Yes, and our last agenda item is under the Area Agency on Aging, and this is Yvette Lugo. She's going to discuss the 2023 Medicare open enrollment period.
Thank you, directors. Thank you so much. This, as Annette shared, this is really an informational item for me. As you may or may not know, we are currently in what's known as Medicare open enrollment. And we thought it was important to bring this item before you so that you know some of the things that we do as an organization. Behind your agenda item, you'll see this informational flyer noting that these are services that our benefits counselors, you're certified through Texas Legal Services Center in Austin, and then also work in conjunction with Medicare and Center for Medicare and Medicaid. And so as a benefits counselor here with the Area Agency on Aging, we obviously pride ourselves in providing this assistance in an unbiased, there is no financial gain on our part, obviously. Because during this enrollment period, this is when Medicare beneficiaries can make any changes to their Medicare plan, whether it be traditional Medicare or Medicare Advantage plans. And I'm sure you've seen all the commercials, or perhaps you know family members that are receiving all kinds of mailings about this plan, et cetera. So it can be very confusing for an older adult, someone, a Medicare beneficiary, because that can be of any age as long as they're in Medicare. So during this time, we encourage Medicare beneficiaries to review their policies, ensure that it's still covering the medications, the doctors they see, hospitals, et cetera. And obviously, we do that as a service, our benefits counseling program. October 15th through December 7th is Medicare open enrollment period. This last week, we were in the region. So something we need to get out there a little more to make sure that all our Medicare beneficiaries that live in our region as well, rural parts of our region, know that this is obviously available to them. And so staff were in Van Horn, Marfa, Presidio, Fort Davis, and Alpine. So they just got back last night, doing that, trying to be available. I don't have the full report on them, but as far as a daily count to getting to me, they said they were very overwhelmed with in some cities, and in others, at least knowing that they were there as a resource. So behind your agenda item is just an informational flyer. If you know of someone that could benefit from this service, we're more than happy to do that and provide that assistance. We would encourage people to call and make an appointment so that we can see them here in our offices and provide as much assistance as possible with this service. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And okay, and then the last agenda items that we have under executive director's report, I already made mention of this at the September annual meeting. I did participate in the National Science Foundation Regional Innovation Engine site visit with the University of Texas El Paso, as well as Mayor Webb. And so we're hopeful that we'll get positive news out of this, because this could be $100 million coming to the university in the next 10 years. So we'll see how that fares, how that plays out. In terms of the president's report, is there anything that you want to report?
Thanks for putting up with me.
I do want to mention for under president's report, Representative Iveta is going to be at our office on October the 31st. He's going to introduce himself to staff and just let our staff know a little bit more about him. This is an initiative that was inspired by Commissioner Leon. You were the basis for this. And so since Commissioner Leon's time, we've had our presidents come in and talk to our staff members just to let them know who they are, what they're about, and expectations. And so he has the benefit of it being on Halloween, so he might see some people dressed in.
Barbie's very popular. Barbie.
Yes.
I might be the head of this horse.
The next we have announcements. I think we kind of did announcements a little bit under public comments, but if there's any other announcements to make.
Congratulations to Presidio for going from our port of entry has gone from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, got that project done. So
Anyone else?
And I was remiss in just letting everybody know about Leonard with Fort Bliss. We are going to be making some changes to our bylaws. We realize that there's some things that we need to address for the base in order to ensure that they're here as they're allowed to under some legalities. And so, but Leonard, thank you for joining us, and you can pass this information along to Fort Bliss. And if there's anything that we can do to assist with the garrison commander, please let them know we're.
Thanks for the invitation.
No, just very briefly, I just wanted to say that we are very nervously anticipating this multi-million-dollar grant possibly coming into UTEP. And I just wanted to say thank you for always considering the district and the potential partnerships that we can have with our K-12 students. I've been working really, really hard on trying to get a P-TECH or early college program specifically for aerospace manufacturing at Bowie High School in the Barrio. That could be a life-changing opportunity for the students that we serve down on the south side. So again, thank you for your advocacy, and fingers crossed.
And hopefully it'll be a Christmas present.
Yeah.
The December is when they should be announcing. So, and yes, and then obviously just as a reminder, like Stella was helping me forget, those who can join us, we're going to have lunch right after. We're going to celebrate Stella because this probably will be her last board meeting unless you all come up with agenda items in November, December, but we don't usually have action items.
Don't.
Stella's like, but no, just wanted to recognize Stella and thank you for all of your years of service to the council of government. Yes, speak.
You have anything?
I just want to say thank you for all the years that you've all assisted me in getting the board meetings together. It's been a pleasure working with all of you, your staff, all been very courteous and responsive, and I appreciate all of your efforts. And thank you so much for being here. It's so nice to see a full room. Thank
By your motion to adjourn.
Okay. Who's the second? Okay.
All in favor?
All right, motion, okay, did you accept the motion or be adjourned? Okay, we're adjourned, all right. Take a vote. Yes, it was, Shirley, and then, okay, and food's already here, so whether you need to get going or if you want to stay, we can make a plate for you.
It would be me.
Leonard, you want us to get you? Sure. Yeah.